So in this video, what I would like to share with you are a few hints and a few tips to really help you get the most from this course, to help you get the most from this online learning experience on one side of the fence. And on the other side of the fence, these exact same points that I want to share with you are also going to help you to manage your expectations in relation to those who will ultimately go on to come to you for life coaching at some point in the future. Because what I would like to build and base this video upon are a series of principles, if you like, as laid out by a guy called Gerard Egan back in 1994. Now, Gerard Egan, I studied his works for quite a number of years, going back many moons ago now, and he did write a book. It's been one of the core foundation books, if you like, that I've built everything that I do today upon. It's called The Skilled Helper. It's a problem management approach to helping people. Now, what Gerard Egan primarily focused upon in this book was how to communicate and interact with other people in the most effective ways. All right. Now, there's absolutely nothing that I can do right now to make you like me. All right. I can say, yes, I'm your guru. I'm going to do this and give you a fantastic learning experience and all these sorts of things, but I can't, because you have a very different set of preferences to me. Wherever you're at in the world, all right, you're going to have a different set of tastes, a different set of expectations, and if you're already disappointed in this course right now, it's not because of what I'm saying. It's actually just because of what it was that you expected to find. So if you're disappointed, thinking, "Kane, I don't like this course. I want my money back," well, you're not disappointed in me. You're just disappointed that you haven't found what it was that you expected to find. And in the same way, all right, people will make these assumptions and conclusions about you on into the future. So it's important that we understand this. In his book, Gerard Egan shared of the factors that impede our learning and our listening. And what I would like to do here is just take 5 to 10 minutes to explain these to you, not in a read a textbook format, but how it is that I understand them. Because this is my course, all right. And what I really don't want to do here, as I've already mentioned, is just throw information at you that you're more than capable of reading for yourself. But I would like to share with you my take on things, my interpretation, which isn't the only interpretation in the world. It's just one take, which you can take or you can leave. So what Gerard Egan suggested to be aware of in life, in the context of our day-to-day relationships, our interactions with other people, or if we choose to go on to help people and be skilled helpers, that there's always external factors to be aware of. Now, as you're watching me right now, as you're listening to me, you could be anywhere in the world. All right, you could be listening to me on your iPhone with a set of headphones in. You might be sitting behind your computer. You might be watching me on a large TV screen. I've got absolutely no idea. But I can guarantee that there's going to be some external factors going on around you that stand to impede your listening. For example, you might be on a bus or on a tube train or something like that, and you're looking for a quick information fix on your way to work or on your way to college or something like that. And what I'm saying is that we can't underestimate or undermine how external factors impede our listening and our learning. Because if you think about it, as human beings, we can only ever fully focus on one thing at a time. And if you're focused on what the guy over there is saying, or what's happening over there, or the traffic over there, or what you're having for dinner tonight, or what time the kids are coming home, whilst listening to this course, then you're going to miss naturally some of the main points that I'm talking about. So if you're being influenced by external stuff, then you stand to potentially miss some of the value that I'm going to be offering you in this course. And in exactly the same way, as you go on to coach other people moving forward, it might be the case that you don't even ever set up a life coaching practice, but you use what I'm sharing with you throughout this course to apply in the context of your marriage or your relationship, or the relationship that you have with your children or your grandkids, or your nieces and your nephews, or someone else out there. You might be part of a scout group network or something like that. You just want to enhance your overall coaching skills, and all of this stuff's fine. But there's always going to be external factors going on in people's life, which, if we're not aware of, then we could end up potentially developing some unrealistic expectations in relation to what it is that we're expecting other people to experience and benefit from through us. All right, which would only lead to our disappointment. So it's important to consider that. What Gerard Egan also mentioned and gave reference to was response rehearsal. Now, let me just give an example of what this means for me. If you think about it, right? Response rehearsal. There's some things that I'm saying to you right now, and there's a good chance that some people around the world will be hanging off my every word, paying full attention. But then there's going to be some people who are still reflecting upon something that I said 5 minutes ago, and they're rehearsing some sort of response. I might have said something that someone's fundamentally disagreed with, that's perhaps offended them in some way, and it's not because I intended to, because remember, there's no such thing as a bad intention. It's just because at some point in the past, these people or that person has learned that saying something like that is fundamentally bad. So if you think about it, we have our external world going on, but then we have our internal world. And our internal world is always contemplating how to respond in the most appropriate way to the external world. So response rehearsals happen in the inside, in relation to all the stuff that's going on the outside. So we'll have these two different worlds to be aware of. These factors do impede our listening and our learning. And if you think about it, if you're listening to the thoughts that are going on inside of your own mind, then you're not going to be listening to anyone else. And this is completely relevant in the context of a life coaching relationship, where if someone's talking at you, perhaps in a really dull, boring monologue, which you're gonna find at some point, then it might be the case that you're not really so much listening to what they're saying, but you're more listening to the response rehearsal that's going on inside of your mind as you're thinking about what you can say that's going to make you seem really smart or something like that. And this is what many people unfortunately do. Another factor that really impedes our listening and our learning is when people focus more on fact finding. All right, because what I would like to share at this stage of the course, and this is really important, there's a big difference between gaining and soaking in information and understanding information. All right. I know some very smart guys, some very smart people who've been in university, college, further education for 5, 6, 7 years, and you could put them on a TV quiz show, and they'd conduct themselves very well. In fact, they might even win. But yet, the way in which they live their lives, they don't actually have any specific skill sets. They haven't actually accomplished anything with their life because they haven't yet learned how to apply all the information that they've already absorbed. And you see, understanding is way more powerful than information. There's plenty of life coaching resources and courses out there that will give you all the information, but if you don't understand how to apply the information, then you're actually going to end the course no better off than what you were when you first began it. So throughout this course, what I want to give you is insight, some information, but mainly stories and illustrations that are going to help you to understand exactly what it is that I mean, so that you can find some value in this course that's way beyond just mere information. Being judgmental. Now, as we've already established, I'm Scottish, and some people might be saying to themselves, "Ah, Kane, you speak too fast. I don't think I like this course. I don't think I like you. In fact, I don't think I like your shirt. And is that a pimple on your chin?" And you might be thinking that I'm a little bit outspoken or a little bit abrupt or anything like that. But you know, how I present myself and what I say doesn't change my intentions or my motives. My intentions and motives to produce the most valuable life coaching resource that I possibly can. You see, being judgmental actually acts kind of like a set of blinkers in front of our eyes, where we jump to a conclusion or a set of assumptions about what someone's motives are, or about who someone fundamentally is, without giving them the benefit of the doubt. We assume that this person's bad, that person's bad. We think we understand people, but if you think about it, I'm going to ask you honestly right now, and it's just me and you speaking right now, isn't it? How do you like being judged? How do you like being judged? Now, answer that question before you make an opinion and jump to a conclusion about whether you like me or not. How do you like being judged? Because of this principle, and this isn't just a life coaching principle. Yeah, you're going to apply it in the context of life coaching, but if you want to have any relationships at all on into your future, then it's crucial that you take this one on the chin. And this is: be the kind of person for other people that you would have them be for you. Give people the benefit of the doubt in the same way that you like being given the benefit of the doubt. And I'll say no more as you're considering switching me off or keeping on viewing or whatever. Something I would like to mention here: problem solving, and this was a big one for Gerard Egan, because coaching isn't about solving people's problems. There are many life coaching programs out there that will say that it is about solving problems, but it's not. All right, because do you remember when I shared in the last video, empowerment comes through responsibility? Right. If I am the life coach or the guru that makes your problems go away, that makes you feel nice, that makes you feel happy, then what's going to happen? What potentially stands at risk of happening? Wouldn't you stand at risk of potentially becoming dependent on me as your guru? Well, you see, if I was a really insecure man, I would thrive on that, right? If I was an insecure man and I needed to be your guru, I would love for you to become dependent on me. But I don't want that, because I want you to realize just how unbroken you are and how possible it is for you to get out there and accomplish and achieve anything that you want to achieve in life. There's no limitations. You see, that's an empowering perspective, a completely empowering perspective, which means it's never going to be my role as your life coach to solve your problems. But it is my role as your life coach to be with you as you find solutions for your own, because that's empowering. Me offering you solutions isn't going to empower you in the slightest. It's not going to serve you in any possible way, and in turn, you solving other people's problems isn't going to empower them. Yes, you might generate a crowd or a cult following or something like that, if that's what you want. But if you genuinely want to serve people in the most effective ways, guide them, coach them, lead by example, offer words of wisdom, encouragement, and support as they work through the process of solving their own problems for themselves. And this leads us finally on to what Gerard Egan discussed and what he meant when he was discussing imposing personal view. Now, life coaching is a new and an evolving science, right? It's been around for around about 40 odd years in terms of the label life coaching, but before then, life coaching isn't a new concept. It's not an American feel nice motivational fad. It's none of these things. People have been helping and coaching people for millennia. In fact, since the dawn of time. Now, going back to the last millennia. Not 2 millennia ago, perhaps 3. Perhaps we might be looking at BC here. If we go back to the times of the ancient Greek senates, back to the founding forefathers of philosophy, you had the guys Socrates and Descartes and Plato. Now, you might have heard of Plato. Plato is perhaps one of the most famous philosophers that's ever been recognized and who's talked about and taught about today. Plato wrote a book called The Republic, and in this book, The Republic, he told a story. Now, this story today could be referred to as a modern-day psychological metaphor, but back then was referred to as an analogy, something like that. Pretty much a story or a metaphor, a story with a hidden meaning. And in this story, there was one sentence, right? One quote that you'll still find on many of the quote websites that are out there, and he had an opinion about opinions. And if you think about it, personal views are just opinions. Now, you can have an opinion about whether I'm good or whether I'm bad or whether you like whatever you like. Your opinions are your own opinions, but it's important to understand that opinions aren't truth. Opinions are just opinions. There's a big difference between opinions and truth. Opinions can be the best conclusions that we come up to and come up with inside of the context of our own minds, but not necessarily truth. Plato suggested that opinion, personal view, is nothing more than the mere medium between truth and complete ignorance. Which might therefore then lead us on to ask a couple more questions, such as: if our personal views and our opinions are now completely irrelevant, well, what is the most irrelevant thing that we can establish in the context of other people's lives? And this is the truth. Because if you want to coach people in the most effective way, you've got to establish the truth about what it is they believe, about what it is they believe that's holding them back, about what it is that they genuinely want on into the future, so that you can fundamentally listen to them in the most effective way and learn who it is that they are and what it is that they believe the greatest limitations are that are holding them back in life. Because if you don't understand these things, then you're never going to be as effective as what you could otherwise be in coaching them. So I do appreciate, as I've shared this stuff with you, there's a few different ways we can look at this. On one side of the fence, imposing your personal views in contrast to mine isn't going to serve you, because I'm different from you, and I'm not intending to offend you or anything like that. But through me offering you my personal views and interpretations, you can consider them in reflection to your own, and perhaps your personal views may alter slightly as a direct result of that. And this is fundamentally how we grow as human beings. So, factors that impede our listening and our learning. I hope I've done a good job at explaining this, because in the same way that you're listening and hopefully are going to learn from me, at some point in the future, other people are going to listen and hopefully learn from you. So if we are aware of this stuff, then it actually empowers us, as we're able to more effectively manage our expectations in relation to what it is that we can expect from other people. So we're going to have a few interesting videos that are going to follow, but I'm going to strongly urge you to write a few notes here and write this stuff down, and I'll look forward to seeing you again soon.